Good evening, family. Welcome back. You know, we went on a brief hiatus last week, but we're glad that you're here with us now. This episode is going to be special. Everybody talks about how they want to get more money, how they want to be successful in life. The gentleman that I have coming on today, we're going to go through his upbringing, his journey to how he achieved success. Now, I just want to warn you, it wasn't an easy path. It took a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance, and a little bit of time in order to get some goals achieved. But what we'll do, we'll go to a quick commercial break. But when we return, we'll have our illustrious guest join us here on set. You're now here with World Views with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Breakfast at Auntie D's, take one. That's all it's gonna take.
Rick and Daddy's on the beat.
Wine, dime, killing time, heard it through the grapevine. The type of dude that like to get dine anytime. Wine, dime, killing time, heard it through the grapevine. You the type of dude that like to get dine anytime. Wine, dime, killing time, heard it through the grapevine. And you the type of dude that like to get dine anytime. Gun, please sipper, Moet, Patron sipper. You the type of girl that like to pull down the zipper.
I like those shoes.
Etouffee, appetizer. After this, I'm digging your thighs. Real debonair's eyes. Look in your eyes. You got a smirk upon your
Go sit down, baby. Go sit down.
And I'm impressed with your waist, petite shape in your thighs. Compliment you on your booty and your hair and your booty. Hey.
Here you go, baby.
Wine, dine, killing time. Heard it through the grapevine. And you the type of dude that like to get dine anytime. Comfort zone with you.
Cut.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here again. Now, I'm going to give a brief introduction on the gentleman to my left. Now, this gentleman, I've heard about him before I even met him. I even had to do research. But then, just like a thief in the night, he just showed up one day. And we became great friends. This guy is he's a comedian extraordinaire. And also a hell of an entrepreneur. I bring to you guys tonight JCann. How you doing, bro?
What's up, brother? How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I feel marvelous.
I can't call it, man. That was a great intro you gave me. It's a bit much, but okay. If that's how you feel.
Man, hey, I know humility is a part of your nature, but at the same time, you got to give people their roses as they grow.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, what I'll start off with, I know most of the people out there in the audience, they may be familiar with you, but you are from...
I hope so.
I feel that they are. So, you're from Acres Homes, correct?
Born and raised, man. Fofo.
Okay. Which part of the Fofo?
Man, Antoine and Gulf Bank.
Oh, wow. Wow. They used to call that part Inwood, huh?
Yeah, Inwood area, right behind Eisenhower High School. Walk to school every day.
Okay. Yeah.
Steal basketball goals, take them to the apartment complex, hoop on them.
Okay. So, coming from that area, I know it's a wealth of talent. So, I just want to go back into your upbringing. How did everything work out for you? Like, what was your home life like?
Home life was cool. It was my mama, my stepdaddy, my 3 other siblings, my young brother that's right after me, B-Dub, my sister Aricia, my youngest brother Guapo, and home life was cool, man. I was outside a lot, of course, being a bad kid like I do, and For the most part, it's like my real dad. I didn't know my real dad growing up. I didn't meet him till I was 12. So you in the streets, you looking for, a father figure. Even though I got a stepdad at home, it's still not the same. It's still something that's missing.
Right.
So a lot of times running the streets with the homies or playing basketball. Basketball was my way out of everything.
Oh, really? So did you play at Eisenhower?
Yeah, I did. I played Ike 9, and I left Ike and was seen by another high school. I ended up moving to Tyler, Texas. I moved to Tyler, Texas and played basketball for Robert E. Lee High School.
Wow.
Yeah, and I ended up moving back to Houston because my stepdad was about to get deported because he from Belize, and they was trying to say the paperwork wasn't right and all this other stuff. So we ended up moving back to Houston. I wasn't in school for like 3 weeks, just chilling. And then I called my cousin, I was like, what school you go to? He was like, South Falls. I'm like, hey, ask your mama, can I come stay with y'all and just sleep on the couch and get in school?
So
that's I ended up graduating from South Falls. But I still would like, I'm talking, when I was going to South Falls, every day in Acres home. I ain't had no business over there. But that was home to me. I felt comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable in Tyler. I didn't feel comfortable in Cypress. I felt comfortable in Acres home.
Because I take it was a culture shock when you went to Tyler, right?
Man, you ever seen like on TV, the athletes go to the house parties and there be some Caucasian lady or little Caucasian girl at the school that got the jet skis on the lake and her parents gone out of town for the weekend and they back there doing what they doing and you show up as an athlete and everybody, oh, what's on here? That was like that. It was different. It was different. But being who I am, of course I was drawn to the hood of Tyler. So I spent a lot of time in North Tyler too, because there's a lot of friends there too. So that's like the hood of Tyler. I was over there a lot. I was over with the preps a lot, the geeks, the basketball players. I was everywhere.
One of my brother-in-laws, he from Tyler. Shout out to
Okay.
Corey Moore. Corey Moore, if you're watching.
Tyler, Texas. What up?
All right, so we're going to speed up a little bit here. So after high school, you decided to enter into college, right?
Nah.
What
It wasn't
happened?
that smooth.
What happened? Talk to
Wasn't
me.
that smooth. After college, I had a baby. I had a daughter, Jayla. And I was just living life, just young, going to clubs, getting a little trouble, ended up going to jail. Not long, it's not like I was doing much or nothing, but getting arrested, going to jail. And at the time, I was a flyer boy. I used to pass out flyers for some homies that was doing club promoting. And during that time, I just was at a time where I wasn't doing nothing. It was just passing out flyers, going to the club all night, doing whatever, drinking. And then my homeboy called me, named Skrilla. He called me. He was at Sam Houston already. He called me like, hey, man, the sorority needs some shirts painted. At the time, I was painting shirts. So I'm painting shirts, and he called me like, they need some shirts painted. I went out there, did like 24 shirts. They had a big line across. And I painted all their shirts for their probate. And I said, I ain't going back home. I ain't doing nothing else here. I'm like, I'm chilling. So I just chilled. And from there, I got into a fight in Sam Houston. And I won the fight. Most important. So that took me from like, who is this little dude that's always on campus to, oh, nah, I heard about him. That's JCann. So for like the first 3-4 months, I'm not in school. I'm just out there on campus, selling Scantrons, just out there.
Oh, so you was enterprising out there,
I'm enterprising, man. And then the break come around. And so I tell Skrilla, like, hey, man, ain't nobody throwing parties out here. I'm going to go ahead and register for school, get in some classes. Well, I'm out here anyway. I might as well. And let's start throwing parties. I know how to do it. I've been following these dudes around since I was like 17. And then we started throwing parties, through our first party, March 5th, 2009. And it was packed. It was sold out. Everybody came. And from there, from that party to the time I left Sam Houston, I was like that guy. I was that dude.
So you had it sold up out there in Huntsville.
Stay Focused Promotions.
Okay.
They're legendary. We increased their urban rates out there. A lot of urban kids started enrolling in Sam Houston after us.
I hope that was the only rate, the enrollment rate, nothing else, right?
Enrollment rate, crime rate, everything.
So, from that point, you returned back to Houston, correct? And once you got back to Houston, what was your first move?
I went to jail again. I was on probation. So this is what people don't know. I was on probation the entire time I was in college. The whole time. So I'm coming back to Houston, seeing my probation officer, and the gang task force was following me around. There's a bunch of crazy stuff going on in my life. I come back to Houston. I go to jail. So I get out of jail, and I'm like, I gotta do something. And I end up working for South ISD.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did they get you doing?
Before and after school program. I was the program manager.
Okay.
But I had worked with kids at the YMCA for a little bit, like doing a little time, a short period of time. So I had a resume showing I worked with kids, but going to jail I couldn't do much. But South ISD, they saved my life. They hired me, and that turned into something totally different.
So, what was one of your greatest moments that you could build as an achievement during that time when working with the children?
At the time, I think, because I was doing basketball refereeing for kids during that time too. So during that time period, it was just the kids I was touching. Like, oh man, I can help you with your grades and your basketball. Cool, I'm helping him, the parents love me. It's just getting through to the kids that other teachers couldn't get through. Like some of those kids had a really hard time in school, but before school they would see me, and after school they would see me. So I was helping them get through their day because they know at 6:30 in the morning I'm gonna see Mr. J, and I gotta be on my best behavior. I gotta bring my basketball skills because I know we're gonna play basketball. Or if I'm acting up, we ain't gonna play basketball.
Right.
Oh, we ain't gonna play dodgeball. So they was just excited to see me, and all the kids, just seeing them even now. Seeing the kids, they older now. Some of them have graduated high school. Some of them seniors. They comment on my page like, "Oh, Mr. J, I'm so proud of you." And I'm like, "I'm proud of you." Like, I remember at one point you was a kid that's struggling with math, and now you graduated. It's crazy.
Cause see, I've been in corporate life all my adult years, but one thing that I fall back on, I have a elder sister. And her kids, I raised partly with her the entire time. Now they like 29, 30, they up there.
It's crazy to see where they grow into.
Yeah. And I mentioned to you earlier, I go to Memorial City Mall almost every week. And one of my nephews, he's a manager at one of the shoe stores.
Which one? I need to know.
He done moved away, but I'm going to give you the contact.
Yeah, I need that contact.
I'm going to give you the contact, but every time I see him, it's like a breath of fresh air because I see some of the things that I did in my younger years that wasn't right. He didn't follow that. He followed everything I did right. Mm-hmm. So I was just so happy about that. I know you feel the same way too.
Absolutely.
So, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, but when we return, we're going to go deeper into his story. Y'all stay tuned, and also we have some surprises for you later. You're now with World Views with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
right with you, okay? All right. How you doing today? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you.
They told me I have to come to you, man. Say, will it be possible, sir, if you can lawyer me up?
Based off of everything that I heard today, I definitely think we can lawyer you up today. Yes, sir. Tune into the Lawyer Up with Steve podcast on the Boss Up Houston Network. Come get your questions answered. We'll see you then. And remember, Lawyer Up.
All right, we're back here now. So we're back with JCann. So we came back after college, after school, right?
Yeah.
So now we talking about your movement. How did you get involved in comedy?
Crazy story. So the whole time through college, through Southfield ISD, I'm an MC.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, I was used to doing the nightclub thing. I'm MCing, I'm hosting events. I'm doing a clothing line with my boy Tajay, High Hoops Clothing. So I'm known in the city of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do a club named D-Boy. I was the manager there and an MC there. So I was MCing, and my boy Shabaz, who I went to Sam Houston with me, we knew each other from Sam Houston, he used to come to D-Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And so my DJ either would mess up and the music would stop, or I would stop the music. And shout out DJ J Black. So he be messing up. So when the music would stop, I would just rank, joke, entertain people, just being me, just entertain.
Mm-hmm.
So one day Shabaz was in the club. He had a little shirt on, like the smallest shirt I've ever seen Shabaz wear. And the music stopped. I'm going in.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Gap wearing, I'm going in. You know. So I told him he was dressed like somebody's stepson. And so it was some friends, like we had some mutual friends, and then one of the girls was like, "You gonna let him talk about you like that? Like, what can I do?" You know what I'm saying? He got the mic. That night, Baz came up to me and we was talking. He was like, "Man, you should do comedy." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm thinking about, like, I would like to try it, but, you know, I don't know if it's me. Like, "Man, look, I'm going to take you to the spot and have you do open mic with me." He kept saying, don't worry, but I got you, don't worry. So we go to the spot, which is Carol's. So Carol's on Tuesday night, open mic comedy for anybody that want to go. Don't go any other night, you run the risk of getting stabbed. But on this particular night, it's safe.
Yes, sir.
So,
I can attest to that. And I didn't mean to cut you off, but shout outs to Cliff 2. If Cliff 2 ever wanted to get an alumni night together, it'd be a hell of a one, because I'm one of the alumni too.
Yep.
Continue.
Yep, Kairos. What we is class of 2000, class of 17. Kairos. And yeah, we go there. It's like 8 people in the building at the time. It increased to about 11. So most of the people in there drinking. They're not really there for comedy at the time. The other comics, they there. Bass had me go up. He went up first because, you know, that's what the homie would do. The brother, he go up first, like, I'm going to go up first to show you that you can do this. He go up first, I go up after him, and I don't do too bad. It's just the adrenaline that was going in me, like when you're on stage, like, man, I could be on stage just being myself. Like, I'm silly anyway, so it worked, and it worked. When I get on stage, Bass like, "How you feel?" I said, "Man, I ain't doing nothing else. This is it. I'm a comic. This is it." And that's how I got into comedy.
So, comic to comic.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm listening to the story right, what was it? Was it like a it was like a high up there, right? Like when you see the people and the people tuned in to you and they laughing or they hanging on your every word. Almost.
And this was the difference is, you know, like I said, I was an MC, an event host. That's what I come from. So I'm used to stage presence and holding the mic and being on the mic and people having their eyes on me. But the difference is, as an MC, I can mask that or cover it up with music. If I'm not having a good night MC, I could just play the music, you know. With comedy, you can't do that. It's you, the stage, and them. That's it. And so when I was able to conquer that fear of being on stage where I can't cover nothing, it's you up there bare by yourself. You can't, either you're gonna do good or you're gonna do bad. It's just that simple. So when I conquered that fear and did good, it was a feeling I never felt before. And that's why I love stand-up comedy so much. Every time I get on stage, I have that same feeling. It's I'm way more confident, but the feeling of just me on the stage and everybody else.
So from that point, from the entry point, what was your moves to get you to where you are now? Like, what was your next step?
After getting, you know, confident, I'm not gonna say good because that's an opinion word. You know, some people may feel I'm great, some people may feel I'm amazing, some people may not like my comedy. It's very rare. But when I got confident enough to be on stage, that's when I was able to figure out, okay, it's a business to this as well. Jokes is one thing, but it's a business too.
Right.
So coming from owning companies before and starting businesses, I took the same mindset into comedy. Like, I wasn't worried about getting booked like other comics was, because I knew I had the resources to book myself, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, especially with my journey, and my audience may know about it because I book my own shows.
Right.
And I also see that, you know, when you do come from a certain mindset, you're not going to wait for an opportunity to happen. You're going to create the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So your first show, when you built it.
You want my first show that I put together or the first big show that I was like, I did?
First show you put together.
The first show I put together.
And what were some of the obstacles that you ran into?
I have been doing like smaller shows. Like I tried to put together a show at the barbershop, which was cool. You know, people coming. I was running the cigar lounge at one point. I was doing shows up there. But when I say the first production show I did a JCann summertime comedy bash. And I rented a venue that holds, I think it was 275, 220, some 200 plus. And I just went, man, this is what we're gonna do. Gonna book this venue. I'm gonna book comics. I'm a headline. We're gonna do the promotion for it. And if it work, it work. If it don't, it don't. Like, I'm never one to worry about, man, I don't know how we gonna do this. I'm like, look, let's get it done, and whatever happened. We'll deal with the results at the end. And the first show, the obstacles I just went through was just, I don't know, man. To me, it wasn't no obstacles because it was the stuff that needed to be done. Like, if I had a team to get it done, or if I didn't, stuff still needs to get done. I still have to get an engineer to run the lights. I was still gonna have to get up lighting. I still got to get a DJ. I still got to get the comics book. So it's just a checklist of stuff that needs to get done. And we got it done, and it went well, and we sold out.
Okay. Now, after that, once you saw that success, what were your aspirations from that point on?
Just being with the top dog, just the top guy. Like a lot of people look at it like, man, you know, it's not a competition, or, you know, we all working together. Like, you help me with a lot of stuff. I help you, Ben, Shabaz, Cliff, Ray, everybody, we helping each other. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be that guy. And so after I did that show, I was like, man, I can do it. I can. If I just keep working hard and keep perfecting my craft, And yeah, especially I did the show at Arena Theater with 2,500 people with Michael Blackson and Jay Farrell. Once I did that show, I'm like, I can hold my own with anybody on stage. So that's my inspiration too, is like being that guy.
And so another part of your journey that I thought was very intriguing was that you're not afraid to travel.
Oh, no.
So you'll get out there and you'll go to different scenes in different areas just to identify the comedy scene and then inject yourself into it.
I have a fan base in New Orleans. I did about 10 shows in New Orleans so far with Piss Your Pants Comedy. My boy Mark Caesar, he at the, I went to New Orleans randomly on the trip and just was like, man, if anybody know any comics out here to tag them. And they tagged Mark. I talked to him. I went to his spot. He said, "You headlining?" I've never headlined before that either. I go out there and I kill it. And so I'm like, yeah, it's other fans outside of Houston. So I've done comedy Atlanta, Gonzales, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Rhode Island. You know, it's just everywhere.
So there was another one of our illustrious guests that came on, Mal Malucci.
My boy.
He said he worked with Piss Your Pants Productions as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all a small world. It's all interconnected.
Yeah. Mal was one of the guys who had an open mic night that was booming, who was constantly hitting me like, "Can, come on, come get on stage, come do it. And I would go to his spot, and he would, man, Mal helped me a lot too.
So going from that, I want to bring up something that's present day, and then we'll go back a little bit in your history. But over the last weekend, you were honored by Broadcast Houston, correct?
Yes, I was.
So what did that entail?
It just gave me something I already knew. You know, I always feel like if I worked hard enough and perfected my craft hard enough that I could be one of the best comics in Houston. And just to be honored by somebody that keep their eye on all entertainment things in Houston, that was special. That was cool. I still feel like, how can I put this? I'll be politically correct. I still feel like I get overlooked with certain things, and I feel like the people that I work with closely, they get overlooked, and it's time for that to stop.
I think that's a sentiment that people more than you experience. Yeah. But one thing you are correct, to keep going. And I think that honor that you receive will catapult you even further.
I definitely want to thank them. I worked with Broadcast Houston a few times, but this time was more special because it was something that I tried and I succeeded in, and coming that it was this past weekend off of my dad passing away, doing the house party comedy show. It was just a lot of things going on. My god sister passing away recently. So to have an achievement for something I worked so hard to do, that was special.
I knew it was. And I know you've recently did just lose your father. I think we need a little bit more time on this platform where we can really discuss that. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go to a small commercial break. And when we return, we'll have more. We're going to dig deeper when we return. So stay tuned in with us, World Views with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
Wanna be a boss? You're watching Boss Up Houston Network. It's Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
Greetings, I'm Bridget Smith-Lawson, the Democratic nominee for the Fort Bend County Attorney position. And I want you to know that a vote for me is a vote for solid credentials, solid experience, and proven leadership ability. I ask for your vote for the county attorney position, and I ask that whoever you vote for, that you come out and exercise your right to vote. Thank you.
All right, we just returned back here. So before we left, Jay, we were talking about your father.
Yeah.
Your father affectionately known as Moby D.
Moby D.
All right. Now, I know Moby D from Houston.
Yeah.
He went to JY. Mm-hmm. Right?
Are you doing your research, man?
Yeah. He's third ward strong. He came out in the Matis, huh?
Nah, yeah, he fifth ward strong.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where about fifth ward?
I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I know my grandma stayed on Cavalcade. She was over there on there. But, man, like I say, I didn't meet him until I was 12. And but I grew up with his sister, his mama, his other sister, like all my cousins. I was over their house all the time since I was known, you know. I just never met him.
So I take it that he wasn't a resident in Houston. He was somewhere else.
Yeah, he got up out of here because of some things he did. I mean, he ain't here no more. I can say it, shooting, whatever.
Yeah.
And he got up out of here, went to the East Coast, and I went with him when I think, first 2.5 years of my life I spent in Massachusetts, Cape Cod and stuff. My mama went, and a situation happened to where I could have been kidnapped and my mama could have been killed. So my mama moved back to Houston, and he stayed.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was that deep. Like, tried to kill. He didn't, but some people tried to kidnap him as a child.
So your father was an entertainer as well?
Stripper. If that's what you want to call entertainment, he just do a little stripping from time to time. But nah, he was he was an entertainer, man. Singing in the band when he got older. He tried stand up. This entertaining dude.
Yeah, because I mean, from what I can tell, his fans, they love him so much. Mm-hmm. He was beloved in that area on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
I would say from Maine all the way down to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right?
When I was out there recently for his memorial service, it was just people from everywhere. And they coming up to me and looking like, oh my God, you look just like him. I'm like, yeah.
So, I'm curious. I'm a jewelry connoisseur. I got a lot of jewelry. So this necklace that you have, I mean, is very distinct.
Yeah.
Is there a special meaning behind that?
This is one of my dad's favorite necklaces. He had it custom made. He got in a fight with what he told me and it lost one of the eyes, so I'm gonna get it fixed, cleaned, and the bracelet too. So my dad, like I say, I didn't know too much of him growing up until I got older, so I wasn't around him a lot. But when I got older, we built a bond. Like, I forgave him, we talked, we built a special bond, and when he was sick, I was out there visiting, we were just talking, and my dad, hilarious, talking about our jewelry. I said, man, what that big ugly chain you got? So I go in the back room, get it, and I put it on my neck, and I just sat next to him on the bed that he died on, and just didn't take the chain off. And he kept saying, "It look good on you, son. It look good on you." And it's one of the things he left me before he passed away.
I definitely understand that. I lost my father in 2014. I was with him every day for 3 months. See, I grew up with my father, but it was rocky. You know what I mean? He wasn't perfect, but he was good, And, I had a lot of resentment as I was growing up with him. But that time that I had with him, them 3 months, similar to what you said, we got closer.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand that.
Like with my dad, our birthdays are 3 days apart.
Wow.
His is May 22nd, mine May 25th. We never spent the birthday together. I never got a gift. Sometimes a phone call, it would come late, But when I got out there and spent time with him. It was just different. It was special. Like, we never watched a basketball game together, ever, my whole life, until right before he passed away. And we sat there and watched every basketball game that came on TV. He was a hooper. I was a hooper. And we just bonded over that. Music. I love music. I love R&B music. He loved R&B music. And just playing music and sitting there watching him sleep to the music, wake up. I'm like, what song is that? And just that bond we built, not only the past few years, but just that last month that I had to spend with him. That was a special bond.
Right. And indeed, I know with everything that's going on, you still working toward a certain level of closure, but at the same time, the engine don't stop.
Yeah.
I've noticed what you've been doing during COVID. You've been having house parties, house comedy parties, correct?
Yeah. They've been pretty crazy lately.
So what was your thought process in even welcoming these people into your home?
Okay, so what happened was, in March, I had just moved into a new house. Mm-hmm. And so I kept saying, when I move into this new house, man, I'm going to do some events here. I'm going to do some backyard parties. I came up with an idea to shoot a comedy special. It was going to be called The Housewarming. And it was going to include Baz, Ben, you know, the wildest in comedy, Baz being Rambo, my brother B-Dub, and Lil Darryl.
Hold up, so B-Dub from Sesh City is your little brother?
Yeah, same mama.
Oh man, that's my boy.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, my boy.
That's what I say. My mama, she got a powerhouse coming out.
Oh,
I don't know what she did, but the answers is blessed her and her uterus to produce some epic kids, man. But
nothing but God, amen.
Yeah, nothing but God. So I'm planning this special, The Housewarming, and in my mind, I even put on. I wrote a script. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be like. What's the movie? Project X. And they were supposed to come in, wake me up in my new house, like, man, we got the house party. I was like, man, we're about to do a comedy show. That's how the movie's supposed to go. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be a wild, crazy lead up into the show, like Project X.
Right.
COVID happened. Mm-hmm. We had to dead that. Like, the week we were supposed to shoot it is the week that COVID came. I had to cancel the chairs, the stage, everything. And time was going by. I can kind of see things starting to open back up, or not even open back up. I can see people not caring as much as they did when it first happened.
Right.
So therefore, I got this house. I'm looking around. I'm like, let's get this furniture out of here. We don't need no furniture. Mm. Let's start throwing parties. I threw my birthday party in May. I threw my brother party in July, and both parties was crashed. Okay, now I'm tapping into the house party. So let's put it together. I did the first house party comedy show. It had like 30 people show up, great underground comedy scene. Did the next one, and it was like 75 people, packed. And now the third installment is gonna be featured on Netflix as a joke. So,
come on now. Yeah. So you telling me Netflix as a joke on YouTube?
I ain't
now?
Put it on Facebook. I ain't really told, unless the people that's around me, nobody knows. It's getting exclusive right now.
That's what I'm saying, man. Congratulations to you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what. Look, that's exactly what we need out here in Houston. And I'm talking about these people gonna come here to the house.
But this how cold I am.
Talk to me.
I don't want that people to shoot it.
Who you gonna get?
Got my own people. Draper Boy Media is Tony Draper's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to T. Draper with Suave House and his son.
Yep. Yeah. I got my boy Draper and his film crew. They gonna shoot it because we're gonna keep it. I have been shooting stuff with Draper before, but I just needed people I could trust on this because it's special. It's special.
Man.
And I got that deal with my boy Ocean, who is the executive producer of Dion Cole's new special that's on Netflix as a joke, and he opens up for Dion. And so we became pretty close. He called me, We locked it in, and he'll be here November 21st. And he gonna get on the show with us too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is a guy that travels the world
Mm.
to come to my house to get on the small stage to do comedy.
Bro, I imagine that the lineup that you gonna assemble for that. I gotta see it.
I wanted to, but I'm loyal to my people. I'm gonna keep the same lineup we had the past. You know what I mean? They was in the trenches, so I gotta go with my boys. I'm always gonna go with my boys. You know.
That's right. The underdog on top.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm just overwhelmed with joy and admiration of what you just told me, because it just seems as though as you went through your journey, you had a lot of roadblocks. You had a lot of things you had to jump over. But it seems like right now you hitting pay dirt.
Yeah. It just seemed like the stars aligned right now. The universe been talking to me and speaking to me for so long, and I would block it out and not listen. You know, you think you're doing your own thing, like, man, I got it. I'll figure it out. I'm going to make it happen. But the universe speaking to you for a reason. And it's been speaking to me for a long time, and it's finally time that I listen to say, okay, everything that you have for me, bring it. I'm prepared. I'm mentally prepared. I'm ready. So let's make it happen. And it's just been rolling ever since.
So, with all of these huge goals that you have, and also the projects that you're working on, what type of support system do you have in place?
Family, my family, man. I have a huge family, and believe it or not, if it's, let's say like we use my house party show, 75 people in my house, like 20 of them is my cousins. That's huge. That's a huge fan base. My boy Tink from LA, Eastside. Tink, what up? He kind of came. I've been knowing Tink for years, but he came in and guided me to things that I didn't see before. Like, man, you can do this. You can do this. Let's do this. Let's put this in place. So Tink has been a person that's just been in my corner. Of course, my mama. That goes without saying. That's my mama. You know, like, she birthed me. She knew what she had.
Right.
And then my boys that I grew up with, like even from the hood, I still hang with the same homies. Still hang with the same dudes. And my wireless in comedy, man, Shabaz, Ben, Rambo, Major, you know what I'm saying? You man, you've been a support system since the day I met you. It's just so many comics to name. Lotto, Ray, Cliff, Leroy, all my family that do comedy in New Orleans, Sleepy, Smiley, more. I got a huge comedy support system. Like a lot of comics that I run into, they genuinely want to help with Ray, etc. Ray was a huge help, you know. Maul, man, it's so many names, man. So many names.
So
shout out Jeff Joe too, man. I don't know, that just came popped in my head. Jeff Joe is a beast.
PA.
Yeah, PA.
Sweet James.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna leave y'all with this quick little flashback, and then we'll go to a commercial break. Now, when I first met him in person, it was right before my wife's family, my in-laws, they were having a 50th year wedding anniversary.
But talk about how you told me something funny. He's like, man, I used to be out and hear about you, but you was like a mythical creature.
Exactly. It was like Bigfoot or something. So when I finally seen him, I was sitting there with my wife's godfather, James Petrie, may he rest in peace. And when I seen him, I say, hey, and he immediately come over. We started chopping it up. We chopped it up for about 5-6 minutes. He went and he was having another business meeting. But what the OG told me, he said, you know what? That's a real brother right there. He gonna be the one that you're gonna have to work with. He's special. So thank you, James Petrie.
I wish James was here right now to thank him, man. That's amazing to hear.
And he got a heck of a story, but I can tell you that offline.
We'll talk.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that offline. But what we're going to do now, we got a special surprise for you once we come back from this quick commercial break. So stay tuned with us. You're now rocking with World Views with Ken Mills on Boss Up Houston Network.
I want to give you the opportunity to tell your truth. So let's start with what happened. This is Red Table Talk. Red Table Talk. Red Table Talk. This table carries no judgment.
I suffered trauma at an early age.
This table brings out your truth.
I had to hit rock bottom. I had to lose everything.
This table encourages you to share your story.
I was just caught up in that pain.
This table has room for everyone. For everyone.
Red Table makes you emotional.
When there's a lot of love there, there's always a path towards healing. Intimate, provocative, unfiltered. Join us. Take a seat at the table. Only on Facebook Watch.
And we're back. Now, two gentlemen that I have here on the couch, we've heard them mentioned before. Now you're looking at 3/4 of wildest in comedy. We have Shabaz Playtime Ward. We have Ben Jackson, comedian extraordinaires. Y'all gonna see them on TV very soon.
Very soon.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Shout
sir.
out Rambo Too Funny. He couldn't make it today.
Yes.
Husband duties. Understand that.
And Rambo, better known as Boot London,
Yeah.
our favorite deacon and Georgia boy. So I'll shoot over to you first, Shabazz. So right now we honoring our brother JCann. So can you give us one of your greatest moments with JCann, whether it was meeting him or within y'all relationship?
I got one.
Yeah.
So at the time, I didn't really meet him. We just went to school together, right? So it's this dude on campus, like like he'd be a new dude on campus. He be on campus like maybe an hour, go to class, such and such. He got like getting all the chicks and stuff. One time he out there with no shirt on, just tattoos out, just flourishing. I say, he can't go to class like that. Like, what's going on? Come to find out, bro, dude ain't in no class. He just out there. He just at the school. Girls come over, they drink. They say, "About to leave? You going to stay focused?" I said, "What y'all be doing over there?" Like, I didn't got you tore up. Now you going?
He coming with me.
So that was my. So college. I like the competition. That was couldn't rock with him.
So you couldn't beat him. You joined.
Yeah. So after that, we got older. Swagged and got over. I said, "Oh, we good now." So when like I said, we met at not met, but at D-Boy, I go there. He getting on me and stuff like that. I told him, bro, come in this comedy game. If you gonna do it in here, man, you might well get paid for it.
Exactly what he said too.
Might well get paid for it. Then
We've
been rocking ever since.
Shabazz been. I ain't gonna use the word OG, but that's been big brother in the comedy game since day one. Everything that go on with my life in comedy, I call him first, and I call him second.
Okay. Now to you, Ben, same question.
Got some of your hair.
Is it great? Okay, I don't know the grades growing in.
So, one of the best moments or one of the defining moments that you have with JCann?
I'll just best moments. What else? What I say is, off the rip, because I met him after Shabaz and stuff like that. I met him in comedy, as me being a comedian, Shabaz being a comedian, and just meeting. I kind of met Can. Off the rip, he had the energy and the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Of a person who had been in front of him, doing something already. It's just about getting your stuff together, and then off the rip, he just had this. He had the stage presence, he had this confidence, but he's always been like this. It's like a sponge, like wanting to either, where's that, learn and stuff like that. So right off the rip, my earliest experiences off the rip meeting Can, every time I met him, it was just like how my stuff was. And then if you give him like a little answer, like, man, your stuff was cool. Nah, man, what you trying to say? I'm like, bro, what you want me to say, man? But yeah, details. But just that hunger. Like off the rip, like the way he be talking, you've been hearing it. I've been, in the interview and stuff like that. That's how it is off the stage. He be wanting to know what's going on, So he been alive since I met him. It's been like 2 years now, maybe 2.
Oh no, I think 3. What? 3.
I don't know, man.
No, it's been like 3.5 because I met Ben. Like
when I first got y'all been the COVID through the mind. Yeah, I almost threw this year away. It's been almost 4 years. It's almost been 4 years, man. Because I met Ben right into comedy. Of course, I'm going through Shabaz, and they've been boys forever in comedy game. So Ben was like the first guy that I met that was like, he do comedy too. And they go with Ben.
So I'll leave you with a parting shot there, Jay. So if you could say anything to your comedy brothers right now, with Rambo, I know he's present on the camera. Yeah. If you could say anything to them right now,
do not look.
What would you say?
The first thing I would say is don't look at me like that. Let's get that understood.
So what you gotta say, bro?
You know what I'm saying?
It's all about eye detail. You can make eye contact with your brothers.
Sure. I mean, if you can't look me in my eyes, it ain't real.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, okay? You can really tell when
you're talking to me like that.
You're aggressive.
I know it's your interview, but sheesh.
Yeah, put some respect on my name. No, seriously though, the thing I would tell y'all is, first I would say thank you, because without y'all, I don't know what I would be doing. It wouldn't be comedy. And second is just, we special. We special. We got a special group, and we don't want to let that go to waste. So we want to take our energy, take our aura, and give it to the world. And thank y'all for believing in me, because I definitely believe in y'all. That's what I would say to them. All right. If they was here.
That's hard.
But they're not here, so it's just
that warmed my heart right there.
Was too cute.
I wish I could say something to my partner.
That's
but precious. See, this is the thing. They act like I don't tell them this on the phone all the time. I just told him this morning.
Yeah, it's cute though. That was cuter. It's recorded. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, on the phone it's a lot more harsh. It's a lot more harsh. We need to do this. I told him that yesterday.
No, we've been working, man.
Yeah, it's more verbally aggressive on the phone. I guess because the camera's rolling, folk change.
Yeah, he trying to be nice.
Yeah, this ain't the 4-4 dude I know. This that Robert E. Lee. That's him. This Tyler, Texas right here. That ain't.
Man, I hit that.
That ain't 4-4 right
there. I hit that. Put that phone down. I'm like, yep. Put it on speaker. Yeah, you right. For sure. Yep.
If I could make a statement, one thing I will say, because I've worked with each of you, and this will be my first time working with him. I'm talking about each of y'all in depth, and what I can say is that y'all have a powerful group. Y'all all are dynamic comedians. I mean, even from Ben will sit down for 45 minutes on a stool and rock something.
That's when he drunk.
Yes. And judging by this man's shirt here, he don't care. He just like me. He don't care.
He don't care what I said.
And from everything that I've seen from you, you don't care either. So I see what you're talking about wildness in comedy, and Rambo sure enough don't care.
But we broke it down the other day of what we...
We gonna fight one day.
we broke it down to what we are as a group.
Yeah.
It's like when we do our shows, I normally host, so I bring the energy. And Baz bring the sex appeal.
Yeah.
To
I'm the silly goofy one.
Silly goofy.
Yeah.
That's what
Ben
you
is
I'm gonna go with
Ben is the content. Ben got that content for days. Like he make you sit and think like, man, that's a cold joke. Like
That's
Lion
why.
King
That's just in case if a dude don't laugh, they be like, man, you ain't think about it.
He get that call. He get the call. He get that.
And Rambo is like our Bernie Mac. Like he just wild and okay.
Man, I guess I gotta claim something, don't
Nah, I'm saying, see, we gonna fight one day.
I'm saying,
okay. He more like Eddie Kane.
Yeah,
now he mixing groups. And stuff.
So y'all saying?
Yeah, so we got Bernie,
Eddie Kane,
Dave Ruffin.
Nah, cause they know sometimes I just won't show up. Well, yeah, Baz, I'll be there. I'll be in the bed, good sleep. That's
and you wake up looking like Kane in the bed.
You won't show up.
Hey, man.
No kids.
What Baz say?
No kids.
I had one, maybe 2 drinks. I'm an alcoholic now. Yeah, I'll be there. That's me there.
Just like your old man.
Why you invite them anyway? That's my interview.
So I invited them for a particular reason, and then we'll get to our parting shots. For the particular reason is I've met them all individually over a course of time. All of y'all got the same energy. All y'all are great people. And I know that when y'all come together, it's going to be like Voltron on a higher scale. So I know that they support you. I know that they love you. And since we did this exclusive here with you and you shared this knowledge and also your present pursuits,
right.
I thought it would be only right that the people that you love be here to share it with
you. Want to know something that's crazy? Because I talked about all the times going through my process and I mentioned jail. I just went to jail this year.
That was the moment I thought about saying, I said, nah, I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep it cool.
And the 2 guys that was with me that held me down, took my car and, called my mama, kept updated, is these 2.
We was going to get some bread.
Yeah. We was on the way to the show. We got stopped.
It was like 15 minutes out, bro. How you get pulled over with bumper to bumper traffic, bro?
Yeah, bumper to bumper traffic. You pulled us over. Took me to jail.
So
the love is there. That's all I'm saying. Because I know they love me because they proved it.
And it's evident to everybody that, well, to me, because I come across you guys and I know we probably have different relationships other than the people that know y'all. So I see it. So I'll start with you, Shabaz. How can they find you?
Oh, I got the same name on everything. Twitter, IG, Facebook, Christian Mangles, all that. Shabaz Playtime. SHABAZ Playtime. Just all together. You type in Shabaz 1Z and put in play, it gonna pop up.
Then where they gonna find you at?
Man, everything at the new website, whereyouben.com. That's WHEREUBEN.com. Whereyouben.com. All my social media, my album. I do have a comedy album. Everything. You just go on the website. It's there.
All mine is like bad, the same. That's at the real JCann. TheRealJCann. The real JCann. That's everything. We don't have a website like Ben.
Hey man,
no.
That may be the new wave. He might could teach us something because I know you built that on your own. Didn't you?
I did. DIY. You know what I'm saying? Do it yourself. But I will say this.
Wow, that was something else.
I know, right?
Y'all filthy. Do it yourself. DIY. But no. What's wrong with y'all? Man, look. What I will say is though, with doing it myself, just a little nugget. Man, get out that sense of not wanting to do stuff for yourself or being afraid. Like once you just break down the barriers, man, a lot of stuff you open up them barriers and start playing with stuff, it becomes exciting. And when you get excited, well, you just gonna keep going. You're gonna learn more. So That's how you create. You never know what you can do in life until you start doing it. You know what I'm
can
saying?
tell he been hanging around me.
He ain't got no website.
So that might be something y'all need to work on. So I thank y'all for coming.
You knew it was gonna get silly at the end.
Yes, that's why I did what I. But I thank y'all for coming. I mean, y'all made this a memorable show.
Man, appreciate it.
And, you know, I wish y'all great success, collectively and individually. But I'd like to touch on something here, because everybody has shared. I want to share something, too. The title of this show is Growth and Prosperity. The reason why I named this is because even as I look within myself, it has been an evolution. I started from one point and I ended on another. And when I looked at JCann's story, that was synonymous. As he started off, he told you about his humble beginnings from Acres Home, the Fofo area, Antoine and Gulf Bank, Inwood, Eisenhower, Ike going down. He told you about that. He also told you about how he ventured off. He ended up at Sam Houston. He bettered himself. He gave back to the community by working with kids. Then he also found his calling through comedy. And everything has been going well for him. He talked about his support system. These two individuals here, and also one at home, and many others. We're shouting out Rambo, Too Funny, shouting out Shabaz, Playtime Ward, and also Ben Jackson, Brother Black Nasty. So
that's a whole nother story.
As I look at this and I think back at this, I'm like, look, in order for you to grow, you're going to have some people to help you out, right? But not everybody can go. It's a lot of people that'll see you come into wealth or come into success and they want to tag on. But everybody got to have a job. That's the only way. Ain't no free ride, ain't no pole mouth, it ain't no freeloading. Everybody got to do their part. And when your collective can do their part, you'll see the success that they're speaking of right now. So as you go out through your days, think about what you want to do. It might not even be comedy. You might want a food truck, but get you some people that's down with you, that love you and have your best interests at heart. So I leave y'all with this. Open your minds, open your hearts, and stay safe out there. We'll be back next week with the lifestyle episode. And I mean, I got some heavy hitters on that. Y'all stay tuned for the lineup. But we're rocking now with Ken Mills on World Views on Boss Up Houston Network. Thank y'all for being here with us.